Hello guys, welcome back. Now in this session we are going to discuss about Terraform Setting Blocks. So let's look into the agenda. What are the topics we are going to cover in this session? So guys, in this session we are going to start our discussion with understanding of what actually the Terraform Setting Blocks is, and then we will understand that what kind of information it holds. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code where we will understand Terraform Setting Blocks. So guys, we are into the Visual Studio Code and this is the same example which we have used in our previous session. One thing you must have noticed, in each of the configuration file I have used this Terraform block. So this Terraform block is nothing but a Terraform setting block where we specify many of the configuration. One of the configuration which we are specifying over here is the provider configuration, like source. Over here we are using AWS, and over here we are specifying HashiCorp AWS. Along with that, we are also specifying the version. Currently I am using version equal to 3.6. This is not the recommended place to keep the version over here. From Terraform 0.1 to version onward. So over here we should mention version equal to 3.6 instead of provider block. So now we understand that what actually the Terraform setting block is. So Terraform setting block is one of the configuration within our configuration file where we can specify the configuration which is specific to the providers. Along with that, we will provide many other configuration. So now let's discuss about that. So guys, Terraform setting blocks holds these number of information. The first one is the specifying a required Terraform version. So within the Terraform setting block, we can specify which version of Terraform we want to use. Let's understand with an example. So currently we are using Terraform version 0.13. If we want to use lesser than that, then we should come over here and we should specify required underscore version, and over here we need to specify the version. For example, if you want to use the version which is lesser than 0.11, so you can do that like this way. You need to specify less than 0.11. So this configuration file will use lesser than 0.11 version, but make sure that some of the command will not work if you are using lower version. So now let's proceed further. Another information it holds the specifying providers requirement. So what it means, we can specify the providers requirement what we are doing currently. So over here you will see that these are the configuration requirement we are specifying. Now we are telling that we want the version should be 3.6 for AWS provider. So now let's proceed further. Next setting we can keep within the Terraform block is the experimental language features. So what it is? So guys, whenever Terraform releasing a new version, prior to that release the beta version of that particular Terraform version, and that beta version should contain some of the upcoming feature that is part of new version that you can hold within the Terraform setting block. So how you will use it? Let's look into that. So to use the experimental feature, what you need to do, you need to specify experiment, and then you need to specify within this list which experiment you want to try. For example, if you want to try feature 1, there is something called feature 1 they are coming with. So you can specify the name of it. So now the question comes over here is, where do you get the information about what new feature or what are the features which is going to be changed in the upcoming release? So where do you will check? So for that there is a GitHub where you can look into what are the features is going to be introduced within the upcoming Terraform version, and the location of the GitHub library is this one. And over here you will see that it is containing the release note about the 0.14 version, and where we are having all the information, what are the enhancement it is going to come, what are the bug fixes it is going to do within the upcoming versions. So all these things are part of the experiment, and if you want to try any of the experiment, that you can do with the experiment block. So you need to, for example, if you want to try the enhancement, so you need to go into this number and you need to check about the experimental detail. And how do you will try that? So you can try with the experiment block. So you need to specify the experiment and the feature which you want to try. You can specify the name. So that means the feature will be available to you for trial purpose. One recommendation I would give you over here, suppose you liked any feature which is going to come within a newer version and you are very impatient to wait for that version and you want to use that feature within your production environment, then I would suggest that don't do that, as it is not recommended to use the experimental feature within the production environment. So now let's proceed further. Another configuration thing we can keep inside Terraform setting block is the metadata to the provider, and it is used whenever you are writing your own custom provider where you want to keep some configuration about your provider. Then you can pass with the help of provider metadata block, which is a part of Terraform setting block. So let's understand with an example. For example, suppose that if you are having a custom provider and you want to pass any information, so how you can use it, you need to specify the keyword called provider underscore meta, and then you need to give a name and you will tell that my custom provider and the information which you want to pass. For example, the setting is some feature 1 setting and the value is XYZ, just a example purpose. So this way how you can provide the or say pass the metadata. So I'm just reverting it back to my original setting and I'm removing all this thing. So guys, let's proceed further. So guys, this is what I wanted to discuss in this session. One thing I would like to tell it over here, Terraform setting block is very rarely touched block. So what it means, we write the configuration for Terraform setting block only once while working with the production configuration, but I want that you should aware about all these settings so that you can understand the significance of Terraform setting block. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.